Welcome back. Today I'm putting Bambu Lab's TPU for AMS filament to the test to see if it really lives up to the hype. Let's jump in. When Bambu Lab came out with a TPU that works in their AMS, I was super excited to try it. I'd previously tried NinjaFlex TPU on my P1S before. You can see that in the previous video linked above. And while the overall results were fine, the quality was tricky and the process of unloading actually caused a clog that resulted in me having to do some more in-depth fixing on my P1S. So let's see how this TPU for the AMS holds up compared with NinjaFlex, and what is it good for and not good for. Well, for my first test, I reprinted a set of tires that I had previously printed in NinjaFlex.
This is not soft.
As you can see, the quality of the print is quite good, and there was definitely less stringing. However, it is a lot less flexible. So much so, I couldn't even fit it on the wheel hub. In other words, it was useless. Well, I decided to take this test a step further and see how the tires handled being compressed with the clamp. As you can see, the NinjaFlex TPU bent easily and bounced right back. However, the AMS TPU cracked while being compressed and did not bounce back to its original shape. I was disappointed after these tests. What was the actual use case for this TPU? So since it's not as flexible as NinjaFlex, I decided to use it to print a bouncy ball and a ping pong ball. For the bouncy balls, I printed out two of the exact same size spheres with a standard 15% rectangular grid infill in Bambu Lab's PLA and Bambu Lab's TPU for AMS. Then I ran a bounce test. As you can see from the bounce test, the PLA bounces quite a bit higher than the TPU. Not really the result I was hoping for, but probably to be expected. I then tried printing a ping pong ball, which was hollow on the inside, and I printed it out of PLA and TPU for AMS. I printed each of these with just a brim and no other supports. As you can see, the TPU for AMS drooped a lot, and that really affected the quality of the bottom half. We had to do another bounce test, of course. This time, I included a store-bought ping pong ball in the bounce test. As you can see, the PLA ball actually bounces fairly similar to a regular ping pong ball. The TPU, not so much. It bounces a lot less. But the real test came when I actually tried playing ping pong with these different ping pong balls. Well, the PLA ping pong ball bounces similar to a regular ping pong ball in the bounce test. It doesn't feel the same when playing, and that's because it's not the same weight and it has a different texture. It works okay though, and in a pinch, if you didn't have a ping pong ball, could you 3D print one? Sure. The TPU for AMS ping pong ball feels a lot different than a normal one. But it was actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. It slows the game down a bit because it doesn't bounce as hard, and you can focus a little more on spin because of that. Also, because of the poor print quality in the bottom half, the TPU ball broke right along the layer lines when I hit it hard, trying to get it to bounce higher. So, in summary, what is the use case for this TPU for AMS? From my test so far, it seems like the best use is actually a dampening impact. However, the real power of TPU for AMS is actually you can combine it with other materials such as PLA. In other words, you can make multi-material objects. I did a quick test with PLA and TPU to see if the materials would actually adhere to each other, and it does. I'd be interested to find out what you think the TPU for AMS would be useful for. Write in the comments below. Until next time, take the time to learn and create every day.